What's good, everybody? It's your boy 5 Wars Deep. Welcome back to the channel. Today is the start of what should be a nice long journey, man. This is the first episode of the Atlanta Falcons franchise in NFL 2K5, which I have said before, and I will say it again, is the standard of NFL video games. I'm gonna tell you something. This franchise is gonna be a little bit different because, to be honest with you, most people on YouTube like to do franchise modes where they build up a franchise from the ground up. I'm not really gonna do that. The Falcons in 2004 were already good. They finished the season 11-5. They won the NFC South and went to the NFC Championship. They were on the doorstep of going to Super Bowl 39. So this team is already good. The goal is to turn this good Falcons team into a dynasty. The goal is to win at least 3 Super Bowls in the next 5 seasons. I want to get to like 2008, 2009 with a couple of Super Bowls because the Falcons should have won at least a Super Bowl in the Michael Vick era. But Michael Vick admittedly did not watch film. There were some other issues with the team, but Michael Vick had said he did not watch film. Jim Mora, this was his first year as head coach. He used to give Vick all kinds of film to watch and he didn't watch it. So, we will be watching film in this franchise. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And this team will have to build towards the future. You're taking a look at the roster right now. Michael Vick, of course, generational talent. He'll be our quarterback. We've got Warrick Dunn, TJ Duckett at running back, Algie Crumpler, veteran tight end. Drafted Michael Jenkins, so he's a rookie in this game. Peerless Price, a veteran wide receiver. Brian Finneran, a veteran wide receiver. But a lot of those guys probably won't be on the team in a few years. As we turn to the defense, it's kind of the same thing. We got some veterans there and some young guys, but the cornerstones of this franchise, in my mind, will really be Michael Vick, possibly Warrick Dunn, possibly TJ Duckett. We got to take a look at the cap and see how that all shakes out. But really, D'Angelo Hall, Michael Jenkins, Michael Vick, those are 3 guys that I'm trying to build around. And really, I want this team to have an elite defense. Offense, I feel like the offense is going to be just fine. It's got Michael Vick on it, right? So I think they're going to be good. It's just about how do you build around Vick and how do you keep talent around him just to make sure the offense is good enough. But I need this defense to be shut down. I need this defense to be averaging. At the end of the season, I want this defense to average like 13 points allowed per game. Something like that. Like that's what I would want going into every single season. I want elite shutdown defense. As I mentioned before, we do not have a lot of cap room to play with. There's only $2 million in cap room. You see Peerless Price, Rod Coleman, Jason Webster, Keith Brooken. We're tied to those guys for 6 years. We owe those guys a lot of money. We got to see how we can kind of either restructure those deals or try to get out of that without eating too much money. That's the bad thing. You don't want to eat too much money with some of these guys, but they're going to get older. You know what I mean? We're going to get to the start of the Matt Ryan era, which was 2008, and these guys they were not going to be able to move the same. So building in the draft will be important, and also because this team is good, we're not going to have early draft picks. They're going to have late draft picks. So that's the challenge of this franchise a little bit, is working with that cap. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 2004 schedule. We're going to start the season off in San Francisco taking on the Niners. We have the home opener in week 2 against the Rams. Follow that up with another home game against the Cardinals. Then hit the road again to take on the Carolina Panthers before 2 more home games against the Lions and the Chargers. We then head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. In that game, in real life, Atlanta lost 56-10. That burns in my memory because Atlanta got clapped that day. Then the Halloween game at Denver. Quick memory about this game. I was not allowed to trick or treat, so I was actually watching this game as a kid while handing out candy with my mom. I will actually never forget that. We got the bye week after the Halloween game. We then have a divisional game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. We follow that up with going up north to New York to take on the New York Giants, and then we head home again to take on the Saints before the rematch with Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. We return to the Georgia Dome to take on the Oakland Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. And then we have the rematch with the New Orleans Saints down south. And then we end the season in Seattle, Washington, taking on the Seahawks. And that's a very good team because they ended up going to Super Bowl 40 at the end of the 2005 season. But it is week 1, and we are out west taking on the San Francisco 49ers to start the 2004 season. We got a nice 4:25 p.m. kickoff. If you really wanted to get deep into this franchise, you could. You could really do a Monday through Saturday plan. You could legitimately pick out what your guys were going to do Monday through Saturday. Here's the injury report. Keith Brooking out for 3 weeks. He has a broken foot. Brian Scott broke his arm. He's going to be out for 8 weeks real quick. But back to what I was just saying, if you really wanted to, because 2K5 has one of the deepest franchise modes ever. You could be the coach 24/7 and pick what your guys are going to do on Monday, what you're going to do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all the way. You see here the first play of the season for the Niners is a long touchdown pass to Brandon Lloyd, and that is the worst start possible for my defense. But what I was saying earlier was, yeah, we're not going to be that deep with the franchise. We're just here to play the games. So we're down 7-0 early. It's 3rd and 6. Brian Finneran the catch on 3rd down, and he would take it all the way. 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown. And in this franchise, we bring him back the Dirty Bird. When we score touchdowns, we do the Dirty Bird. Falcons tie the game at 7-all. Niners back with the ball. 1st and 10. Rattay outside the pocket, looking, throws across his body. D'Angelo Hall almost picks it off. Like I said, we're going to build a defense around that young corner right there. 3rd and 6 now. Rattay out of the pocket, throws to the flat, and Woods steps out of bounds, so that forces them to punt. Now, word to Deion Sanders, I am showing you a special teams play for only one of 2 reasons. It's either a big play or a boo-boo. Watch D'Angelo Hall out of a tackle, and he take it all the way back for a touchdown, but there is a flag down, and folks, I'm not even going to hold you. We got called for clipping. So we get pushed all the way back. But honestly, we do start the drive in Niners territory, so it wasn't that bad. Vic finding Dez White there for a good 1st down. Next play. Welcome to the game, TJ Duckett. And that is a good gain on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 6. 2 plays later, it's 3rd and 4. Vic finds Peerless Price, the former Tennessee wide receiver, and it's 1st and goal for the Falcons. We're going to skip ahead to 2nd and goal, and it's TJ Duckett. Big man touchdown. And we hit the Dirty Bird in this franchise, like I said. Go ahead, get used to that. Just get used to seeing that. 14-7 Falcons. It's now 2nd and 9 for the Niners. Barlow is stonewalled. And that brings up 3rd and 9. Edward Jasper was the first person to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Rattay looking, throws, and that ball is knocked out of the hands of the receiver. Nice play by my safety. And once again, the Niners have to punt. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Vic, play action rolling out of the pocket. Finds Algie Crumpler for a gain of 6 to bring up 2nd and 4. On 2nd and 4, we go to TJ Duckett, and that's another big man 1st down for my boy, number 45. Come on, brother. It's 1st and 10 Falcons. 2-minute warning now. Got 2 minutes left in the 1st half. Vic sacked by Rumpf. He came right from his cornerback spot, unblocked. Now, why would you leave this open for Vic? Tell me that, 49ers. Why would you leave that open for Vic? You just left the middle of the field wide open? Well, I'm going to just go ahead and get 9 easy yards to bring up a 3rd and 7. We are now less than a minute 30 to go in the 1st half. Now less than a minute to go on 3rd down. Vic looking, throws up top. And this falls incomplete trying to go to Finneran, so we have to settle for 3. But Jay Feely from 50 yards out is no good. Missed the kick. Kicking in 2K5 is actually a little bit harder than you think, man. They like move the arrow, and you have to try to keep it steady. So we go to halftime up 14-7. I feel like it should be 17-7, but that's okay. But now that it is halftime, I want to take this time to say that after each episode, we will air SportsCenter in its entirety because 2K5 has something that Madden has never had, which is Chris Berman and a full SportsCenter broadcast with the highlights of all the other games in the league. So stay tuned for that at the end. You will see full highlights from all of the other games around NFL in Week 1 presented to you by Chris Berman in NFL 2K5. So subscribe and stay tuned if you want to see all of those things. So now we are in the 2nd half. Niners get the ball first. 1st and 10, throwing across his body and across the field is Rattay, and that's only a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 here. There's Barlow, who breaks out of a face mask. And back in the day, there was a such thing as incidental face mask. So incidental face mask is only a 5-yard penalty, so that would bring up a 2nd and inches instead of a 15-yard penalty, which gives you an automatic 1st down. So 2nd and inches, but they're just going to go right back to Barlow. That's a 1st down for the 49ers. We skip to 2nd and 10, and it's Barlow again. That's a really good gain right there for the running back. That brings up a 3rd and 4. And on 3rd and 4, Rattay throws, but D'Angelo Hall shuts Woods down. Niners have to punt. Falcons get the ball back at their own 27. We run the toss to Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is near the 40-yard line with a good first down run there. We go to the very next play. It's Warrick Dunn again. Not as good as the first time, only 3 yards there. That brings up 2nd and 7. We skip to 3rd and 7. Vic looking. Vic throws, and it hits Crumpler in the chest and falls to the ground. So the Falcons have to punt. Ball goes back to the Niners. They're facing a 2nd and 9 here. 1:20 to go in the third. Rattay looking, and he is speared by Patrick Kearney. We got to take another look at that. That was a straight-up gold bird spear by my defensive end. Look at him come in. That's a great speed rush. 3rd and 5 for the Falcons because that sack led to a 3-and-out. Vic looking, throws, and that pass is intercepted. The first turnover of the season, and that would cost the Falcons. 1st and 10 right after the interception. Rattay stepping back, throws, and it is caught by Woods. Big first down for the Niners. They are already deep in Falcons territory. Very next play, 1st and 10. Rattay out of the pocket, and he's sacked again. Brady Smith with the big hit, and now it's 2nd and 15, and that would lead to a 3rd and 15. Falcons got a chance to get a stop, but we, for some reason, forget how to play defense, forget how to tackle, and Cedric Wilson, the former Tennessee wide receiver, takes it in for the touchdown. And we are tied at 14 all. 3:18 to go in the 4th quarter. Vic going up top. Peerless Price has it, but he lost it. And that brings up a 2nd and 10. I decided to pull a dirt cutter and run the ball on 2nd and long. That obviously wasn't smart. That brought up a 3rd and 14. Vic now on 3rd and 14, looking, throws, and I don't know where that ball was going. No clue where that ball was going. Des White don't know where it was going either. We had to punt back to the Niners. 2:40 to go. Defense got to get me a stop right here. Rattay throws. That's incomplete on 1st down. It's now 2nd and 10. They run the ball with Barlow. He gets them a good gain on 2nd down. That brings up a 3rd and 5. We really got to get a stop. My offense needs one more chance. And for some reason, they throw the screen to Brandon Lloyd. That didn't work at all. I call timeout. Falcons have the ball back with 2:10 to go, and they start the drive at their own 23. Algie Crumpler, a good catch on 1st down, and that leads us to the 2-minute warning. It's a 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 following the 2-minute warning. Vic looking, out of the pocket, still looking, throws up top, and Peerless Price has it, and the Falcons are near midfield. Less than 2 minutes to go, now less than 1:30 to go. Vic out of the pocket, looking, flag is down. Brian Finner in the catch inside the 25. What's the flag for? It's going to be holding. But holding on the defense. We decline the penalty, and the Falcons are in field goal range with less than 1:30 left on the clock. Following the penalty, we toss that ball to Warrick Dunn. He gets it inside the 20, inside the 15 to bring up 2nd and 2, and the Niners are forced to call timeout. On 3rd and inches, we go to TJ Duckett. 1st down, Atlanta inside the 10, and Atlanta forces the Niners to call their final timeout. We run the bootleg with Vic. Vic would take it inside the 5, and now we can run the clock down, all the way down. And we decide to just go ahead and kick a field goal with less than 30 seconds left. Jay Feely, chip shot is good, and the Atlanta Falcons would hang on. Niners could do nothing with the little time that remained. The Falcons are 1-0. 17-14 is your final score. The defense got me the stop I needed in the 4th quarter, and then the offense came through. I'm not sure how many game-winning drives Michael Vick had in his career, but he just got one in week 1 of 2004. You can see here that we outgained the 49ers 235 to 155. We also won the time of possession battle, but we've got to win the turnover battle. Can't lose those turnover battles. That's not okay. Taking a look at the player stats, Mike Vick had 157 yards. Rattay had 134. Both quarterbacks completed 44% of their passes. Vick with 1 touchdown, Rattay with 2. Nobody really had a good rushing performance, but if you must know, Warrick Dunn led the way with 33 yards on 9 carries. But receiving-wise, Brian Finneran, 2 catches, 95 yards to lead all receivers. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, I don't think we're going to lead the league in any offensive categories this year. Our best receiver had 2 catches and 95 yards. So, you know, the goal again, have a shutdown defense. Offense, they'll be fine. I think they'll be able to score their points. So that's all good. Thank you for watching week 1. We'll be back for week 2 taking on the Rams at home. But Sports Center with Chris Berman is next. Thanks, guys. One love.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Chargers come away with a 7-point win. Brian Finneran stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Ashley Lilly had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Broncos beat the Chiefs. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Lorenzo Neal might be the biggest loss on this list. He'll be out for 11 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Brian Westbrook is probably the one that most leaps out at you. Tests at the stadium revealed a broken kneecap, so he'll be out for 11 weeks. Now the big story of the day. Tony Gonzalez will be on the sidelines for a while, and that is not good news for his club. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, we had the Eagles get squeezed out by 4 points. Up in the HHH Metrodome, we had the Vikings get sent away with a 7-point loss. Colts, Patriots. Corey Dillon would certainly like to help his team get into the end zone. And he's set 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now looks to bounce outside, does so, gets a block, touchdown, 10 yards. The Patriots win this one by the final score of 24-20. The Ravens defense held their opponents to under 100 passing yards in their win at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Rams won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Falcons. Hines Ward had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Curtis, my favorite Martin, ate up over 100 yards on the ground and helped his Jets beat the Bengals. Deep in Cajun country in New Orleans, we had the Saints squeak to a 1-point victory. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
Over now to news of a trade that might have some ramifications. This guy leaves the Seahawks and heads to the Cowboys, so he should be a great addition to that defensive line from his slot as an outside pass rusher. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Terrence Newman is a guy that ought to be able to fit right in with his new club, and he should make his presence felt over time.
Titans, Dolphins. Steve Air McNair calls the signals at the 24-yard line. And a quick rollout. Boy, he has some time. What a bullet. Touchdown. The Titans go on to win this by the final score of 13-6. Up in Chicago, we had the Bears lose by a 9-point margin. The Packers erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at Ericsson Stadium. The Buccaneers won on the road and will now head home to meet the Seahawks. And last but not least, we had the Bills come away victorious. So, as usual, plenty of surprises around the NFL. And heck, we just got into week 1. My primetime players' game balls go out to these gentlemen, each one with a fine start to the season. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.